So I thought I'd throw my 2 cents in on what David Grusch is going to talk about on the June 9th press conference that they're having in Washington at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. I think there's things, I think he's going to say some things, but I hope that he's going to also say some other things. And I'm going to separate those two out into 2 different categories, because I think what he's going to say is very reasonable, which is more or less that although the releases on war.gov have been beneficial, they just scratched the surface of what he's seen. And I think he's going to call for more transparency on that aspect of it. And he's going to address it directly to Trump, because we've seen how much of an impact that Trump's involvement and engagement in this topic has resulted in the momentum that we've got right now, which is kind of frustrating with how much effort it's taken to get there, and for him to just respond to Obama and things get going so much faster, it's impressive. So I think that's why he's addressing it directly to Trump. He's going to play on his ego, let him know that he can make a historical decision or a historical difference. And then I think he's also going to ask him and encourage Trump to, instead of just having this presidential directive, go ahead and make it official and turn it into an executive order. So I think he's going to definitely push for that. I think that he'll also support the Congress's need to have subpoena power, and he'll use his list of hostile witnesses as his justification for doing so. What he's going to refer to, when he's going to talk about as far as what has been released on war.gov, is going to be, he's going to describe it more or less as low-hanging fruit, low information stuff. And so he's going to encourage them to release more tangible scientific or information that can be done with scientifically, up to and including satellite imagery is my hope. He's also going to end up, which rightfully so, asking for Congress to ramp up the whistleblower protections, because if you watched the last episode of Weaponized with Jeremy Corbell and all the whistleblowers, it seems like they are very frustrated with the process, and that negative things are occurring to them that's making it difficult for them and future whistleblowers to come out. So I think he's going to make a push for that. However, there's things that I want him to say that I don't think are going to happen, but I'll just go ahead and voice them. I'm hoping that he's going to end up saying that he actually is a first-hand witness, or has had a up close and personal UFO, maybe a non-human biological encounter, and so that we get that on his resume. But then I also am hoping that it comes out, because Steven Spielberg has been saying that this Disclosure Day movie isn't science fiction as much as it is a reflection on what's unfolding before our eyes. I'm hoping that Grusch comes out and says that he was actually a technical advisor for Spielberg on that movie, and the fact that Spielberg has recently said that David Grusch's congressional hearing, along with Graves and Fravor, turned everything on its head. So I'm hoping that is an indication that maybe Spielberg has a very specific interest in David Grusch and his testimony, and maybe he reached out to him. That's what I'm hoping for. And then, of course, I'm hoping he just says, go UFO, if nothing else. All right, just a few of my thoughts. I'm going to finish this out. Putting mortar in between bricks is basically like squeezing cake batter onto a cake, or icing onto a cake with this mortar bag. But it is one of the more rewarding ones, because you get to scrape it off immediately afterwards. So I'll fast forward through it so you can see. All right, that's all there is to it. Give it a few days to dry. It'll firm up real good and look brand new. Thank you guys for watching.